Hello everyone, welcome back to the studio. If you're new here, my name is Leah and I'm a collage artist. I think we're gonna start with just a little candid catch-up, a fireside chat, so to speak. The holiday season, Black Friday, all the sales is my fatal flaw. I hate thinking about anything related to the holidays too early, and as a business owner, you really have to be. When I work in agencies, most of the time I'm doing Black Friday things in July. As a small business owner, I'm sure people start in October. And for me, I always start the week of, and that's always a problem for me. This time of year, the end of the year, is always the most difficult for me. I feel like I'm running out of steam. I'm usually really burnt out feeling. I'm ready for the new year and really needing that extra R&R during the holiday season break. And that means that I have like no Black Friday plans as of right now. I think too, a lot of people don't know how much goes on behind the scenes when it comes to the holiday stuff. And even though I'm saying I'm not doing a lot, I am still putting in a lot of effort, so I wanted to kind of show you guys the behind the scenes of what goes on. For most small businesses, this last quarter is the one that they make like triple, quadruple, most of their money usually in the last quarter of the year, right? And it's something that I've always struggled with in pushing, and there's always the people doing it so early, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want to be a part of that. But then when you do it with the rest of the wave, then you kind of lose your sales potentially, right? So for today, we're gonna start with doing a couple of those. Let's jump into it. I also need to get the studio in order for the holidays, and a big part of that is actually having the prints ready to go. I just got a really exciting thing in the mail, so we're gonna do an unboxing and I'll explain to you what I really want to do with it. Ta-da! Da, 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 da. Can you guys guess what it is? It's a label printer. Isn't it so pretty? I really like this one. I think the design is just so sleek. Something you guys don't know about me is that I am so meticulous when picking something to purchase. I look at all the options, I weigh them. And for example, this purchase I've been thinking about for like over a year for sure. And it was such a funny coincidence. I put this in my shopping cart on Amazon, and then within like a week or two of that, I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, do I just go through with it? They messaged me and gifted me this one for free. So I'm super happy about that. And I have so many ways to use it, and I wanted to show you some of those today. Along with that, I have these white circles, some pink circles. I think these are so pretty. And then white shipping labels. They also had a pink version of this and also a green one. And I thought that they were both really pretty. But they were out of stock, unfortunately, and I needed one fast, so I got this one. For starters, when you're at a market and people come up to you and they're looking through their things, they're always gonna look at the piece, and then I always notice them go like this and flip it over. And I think that that's because they're expecting there to be like a little blurb on what it's about. But I would love to be able to just have these shipping labels, and even maybe half of them, right? Like I don't think it needs to be the full thing. Like I could print that and then cut it and just have a little thing that's like vintage collage, 1940s to 1970s. This piece examines the relationship between women and consumerism, and you know, just something like that, just so that they have something to go off of. The other one I got are these pink stickers, and I got the white versions as well. And something I really like that I think looks really nice and professional is when people have like a little sticker up at the top and it just says like art prints by Flanzella, for example. And I do want to try that out and just kind of do a mock one of what those would look like, because I do think it's nice to have like some sort of branding on this. I know we have this here, but it would also be nice to, yeah, just have like the little paragraph and then a dot on each one. And I think for like markets, that's better. For online purchases, I don't think it matters too much, but I would like to be able to have the description, right? Like I think that people would want that. So yeah, I just think that like there's just a way to elevate my prints and bring them into like a new level. So I think I'm actually going to end up putting this like right next to my computer so that it can be like plugged into it. You can do it with Bluetooth, but I think I'd prefer to just have it there. It's already set up, and I can also use Bluetooth with my phone. So let's do a test print, I guess. Let's see if, oh my gosh. Okay. That was so fast. Okay, well, it works. Okay, next test. I'm gonna try cutting it both ways just so we know. Definitely not equal, but I mean, I think this would work really well like on the back of it. Like here it is. And like this would just go like here, and it would be like, it's actually the exact size as the postcard below. I think it's a 4x6 and this is a 4x6. So that'd be kind of nice, right? And then people would have like a little blurb to read. And now I have one last way that I want to use this that I want to show you. I really wanted to try like printing artworks or like other photos off the internet onto it. And I know they're going to be in black and white, but I think that's kind of cool. I think in a junk journal setting that this would be like a great way to like add some of my own elements. I think this is definitely interesting. It shows like it only picks up like the black values versus like a gray area. Look at this texture. That's like pretty cool. I think it could be really interesting to try this. I came up with a decision that I wanted to do this year, and that is to have collage kits in every order that's over $50. So for today, we're going to start with doing a couple of those. I've always wanted to do collage kits, and it's just something I've never gotten to. So I have these bags that I'm going to use, and let's make some collage kits. So these magazines are the perfect size for this, so let's find some like larger pieces that I can throw in. I'm going to start by making 10, so I'm going to make 10 piles and just kind of go from there. So the first page is a double page so that I can put all the pieces in there, and that way they're almost like folders, and then I can make them pretty afterwards. And now we're going to sort these ones into the folders and then go from there. These are curated. I'm not just trying to throw things into each one. I'm trying to make them thoughtful. So I'm trying to make sure each one has like a child, some sort of outdoor scene, a house picture. So like, for example, this one needs like this, for example. And then like a beauty or a subject matter. So like kind of like, I don't know, one of the beauty products, and then a food piece for now at least. And then we're gonna get into other papers. Okay, so all that work, now we have 10 pages in each one. I just went through and counted to make sure they were equal. And so we're gonna move on to other like landscape pieces and interesting other things. I'm not really sure exactly, let's see. I was thinking National Geographic would be fun. So these are 1977, so we'll have the 70s and 80s so far. So I decided to take out the staples. They were just so gross. And the pages weren't really coming out the way I wanted them to, just because the staples were in the way. So now we have a free range of what we're gonna do with it. And I wanna make sure each one has at least like a bigger scene, like this, for example. I think that that really helps when creating to make something larger. I have so many car pictures as well, and I want to include a car in each one, or some sort of vehicle. I have this sailboat and two of the same ad, this blue car, the Toyota. So I'm going to see if I can just like pull out pieces like this. The airplane would work too, just so that there's like a bit of a variety in each one. I also want to throw in some that are already like cut out so that people have like somewhere to start. So I'm going to go through and just pull out some things that I don't think I'm going to use or have been here for years. I think some random stuff really helps sometimes, even like a shoe, a face. I have all these postcards, they'd be fun to put in, right? And a big part of my collaging, as you guys know, is using text. I know that it's not everyone's favorite thing to use in art, but I do want to like pick out some of these, maybe give people like 3 or 4 phrases each. Where would we be without some textures and patterns? There's so much fun stuff in here, so I'm going to pull out at least a couple for each one, I think. These have always been really fun for me, so definitely going to maybe do some origami sheets and some patterns. Okay, I pulled out a ton of stuff. There's like lots of really interesting textures, patterns, some new stuff, some old stuff. I think that I definitely have enough now to make the rest of the collage kit. And then I still have some pictures that are left over, so I'm just gonna go through and put one in each one, like trick-or-treating. Okay, so we're all good, I think. I'm probably gonna put some people in just at the end, but let's go ahead and package these really nicely so you can see the good pieces on the outside. This one had less cutout, so I'm just gonna put one on the very top like that. And I think that this is just like, it looks nicer than having like no like pictures and stuff. And I think people will get more excited when they see it come. Also just decided, I think they do need more vintage. I didn't know what I was thinking. They're all kind of missing the vintage flair that my art has. So I'm just gonna go in and grab some like people, maybe cut some out, have like little pieces at the front that people can grab. So let's add some stamp piles as well. And there you have it. We have 10 collage kits ready to go for my Black Friday. As you saw last week in our last video, I also am working really hard towards Pantones, and I really want to be able to launch more for the holidays. I'm definitely like a lot slower than I was in March making things, because I think like at that time I was like way more motivated and I had a lot of energy. And now I'm really, really tired. So it's been hard to like try to get 15 out. That was kind of my goal for the 2 video series. I think I'm at 6. I'm hoping to get to 10 at least that I can launch this week. So let's jump into making some Pantones, because I know that you guys are gonna love these. One of the most interesting parts of my process is that I do the videos, right? So once I'm creating the videos, I'm able to look back at everything I did and really take a second to reflect on if I did the right thing, if I want to change something. And for that one, this one was the one that I was like, oh, I can't believe I didn't just think of that. I was talking about putting something in the sky, right? I definitely want to cut off this little bottom white piece. These words are right here, and I think they'd go so nicely with this little piece. There's something very light and airy to this, and just having the phrase like peace of mind on it, I think is like honestly all this really needs. I did think about cutting out this like pavement part, but I actually like having these like grayer tones with this. I think that it kind of balances it and makes it feel like it belongs there, because then you would have yellow, yellow, and this one has like the red and the red, and it kind of brings in these blue tones as well. So I think it all like really works actually. And then last time we ran out of time to finish this one, and I was really close. So that was really unfortunate, but I have a good idea for this one. I have all this black paper, and I wonder if I could just like kind of rip it up and make kind of like some interesting textures that might look like little clouds, or like the edge of the moon like touching the cloud, for example. This paper is like very much so giving us a very strong white edge. This piece I did really well with the edges, but it's way too big, so I think this piece I'll have to take out and stick to doing like smaller pieces. So now that I'm doing it, I have all these pieces. I tried out a couple ways, and I think that this is the way I like it the best, but I'm just not sure if I love it. So maybe we just put it to the side again and come back to it and just kind of keep looking over at it and see if there's like something that's missing or a better idea comes up. After much thought and a day or two, I've decided that I do think that this one is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it down. Okay, there we go, the final one. It was harder to glue than I thought, but there we go. Okay, let's return to this mess. I am not really sure how this is going to go. I think I got really stuck on this one, so I'm just gonna try to piece it together a little bit better and see what happens. I feel like I'm struggling with this one as to why it doesn't work, because I feel like I've done color palettes with this and I like it. I wonder if it needs something like brighter. I feel like this might be too literal, but it could be kind of interesting. So I think maybe I'll cut this off and just, you know, give that a go. Yeah, I don't know. I just continually am stumped on this piece. It's very interesting to me. I'm not sure why it's not working, but I don't like it. It doesn't feel complete. It doesn't feel interesting. It just feels like I've put some things on a paper. And maybe that means it'll get tossed fully. Maybe we need a new idea. For now, I'm just going to leave it in like a pile on the side. And sometimes interesting things happen when they're just, you know, hanging out. Like even this looks more interesting than the piece that I intentionally made. So that's always terrible. Doesn't feel great. As I was going through stuff to make the collage kits, I also pulled some things for the Pantones. So we have a lot of new pieces here. I'm really excited about some of them. I wonder if we could make something with these potentially. I feel like something really mod could be fun with those. And I also pulled like some women. I liked these too. I thought they were funny. And then we just have like a bunch of like other textures. And I feel like that's something that I was lacking, was kind of like interesting patterns and shapes. And yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff we can do here. See, having really bright patterns sometimes when you have black and white or something like less interesting can make something really bold and fun. I think that this would look really cool on a Pantone. So I got some orders with our lovely collage kits, so let's pack some orders. Another thing I need to do like now is a email for Black Friday telling people that these collage kits are going to be ready. So let's do that quickly. Oh, that was so tough. Email done. My goal was to get everything on MailChimp and then launch it and pay for it every month, but I didn't get that through in time. So I'm gonna pay for a 1-month subscription of Squarespace's email list, hoping that that just works through December. Hopefully it goes well and I can let you guys know if I like it or not. I think I've worked with a bunch of different mailer platforms now, and they all cost a little bit of money, but maybe it's worth it. And if I'm gonna do that, I will definitely invest more time in making my email list a little bit better and giving like exclusive offers and, you know, all the fun stuff. And on top of doing an email for Black Friday, we also have to do an email telling people when the last day is for them to order. I have one set, but I wanna do one for 24 hours before that so that people can guarantee that they're gonna get their gifts in time for the holidays. The last thing that gets me super hyped for the holidays is doing a vision board for next year. I know a lot of people wait till January to do this, but I realized this year that I would love to do it like in December so that I can be marinating in those ideas while I'm on holiday. So we're actually going to save that for next week and do a full workshop on vision boarding, which is super exciting, very fun, and I hope that you guys are able to do it as well. I hope this video got you inspired to kick off the holiday season. You're definitely getting a behind the scenes look at what I do in my small business, and we're gonna do some really cool upcoming projects, so stay tuned for those. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to like, subscribe, and ask any questions below. Very open to talk about small business questions. I'll see you next week. Bye!